Not only do men make terrible patients, a lot of times they're straight up lying about their condition anyway. So thank you for this comment, because I sat in an emergency room for 12 hours with my ex because of some back pain, some mysterious back pain. Remember the first time the back pain came up was when I was on family vacation. He allegedly went climbing. He's not a climber. He doesn't climb. But he went climbing, supposedly, and threw out his back. And so the entire vacation, my phone was blowing up with like, I'm in so much pain. And it ruined my vacation because I was either dealing with his pain that he was lying about or his anger because he was in pain. And that's actually what it started it all. And I didn't actually realize just how much the back pain factor played into all the abuse until my husband this last weekend had legitimate back pain. And I didn't believe him. And I got so triggered and I got really rageful for no reason. And I was like, no empathy whatsoever. And he was just like, ah. And I was just like, nope. I was pissed. And this is how the PTSD and like all of this trauma doesn't go away. It just like goes boo in every relationship you have after these men. Because my husband can't even get sick without me just questioning it or getting angry. Because my ex fabricated back pain to control me with his moods and his anger and get me to turn me into a nurse who's just like, oh no, but your back, right? And that's where it all started. The back. So I went to the ER with him because I was like, this is insane. Like, we got to deal with this. And I brought snacks and my little, that's what I talk about. I would have probably made a good mother. I don't want to be one, but my ex turned me into one because I had my little diaper bag with a Kindle and snacks and water bottles and everything in case the baby doesn't like it in the emergency room. Because I know emergency rooms are always a long wait. So yeah, after 12 hours in the waiting room, we finally get a room. He throws a chair across the room, right? Because now that we got privacy, he's angry. We wait a little bit longer. I play funny YouTube videos to entertain the baby. Then the doctor comes in, takes some x-rays, and is like, I don't really see anything. And then gives him some like pain meds, and then gives him a bunch of instructions on what to do. Do you think he did anything? No. So then I keep looking for solutions. I'm asking my friends who are into like essential oils, into like massage. Women can be very resourceful. We have to be for our survival, especially when we deal with men. So I had all of these things that would have helped, but you know why he didn't take them? Because he didn't even have a back problem. And so, by the way, like I said, this is literally every single time my husband has any pain, any ailment. I am like the opposite of nurse, whatever that is. Just cold-hearted, like, yeah. And then I'm like, whoa, Melanie. Because he takes very good care of me when I'm sick. Like, way better care of me than I take care of him. I have to make myself take care of him because I'm so angry at men making this stuff up, especially that one man, that I don't even provide care and love for the man I love, who I'm sharing a life with. And he's legitimately in pain. And guess what? Of course, his back pain, it was actually only for the day. But now, because he's so afraid of my trigger responses, despite all that I'm doing, EMDR, so many years of therapy, he has to kind of quiet his own pain to try to avoid triggering me because of this one dude and my nervous system, and it's still being in here. So then, when the back pain wasn't enough to keep me in this abusive relationship, he literally made up all kinds of stuff, y'all. One time I tried to break up with him, the time that actually kicked him out of my house because he was a homosexual, literally was homeless when we started dating. He just moved right in while I was on family vacation. First time I tried to kick him out, he threatened to jump off the bridge all day. Literally blowing up my phone. I'm gonna jump. I had my friend follow him around in a truck to make sure he was nowhere near the bridge. He wasn't even near the bridge. He was all because he knows that my weakness is worrying about him. And a lot of men know this. A lot of men know that, especially if they know we have some sort of chronic codependency, they're like, oh, that'll get her. So me worrying about him, which is what I always did, always got me to gaslight myself and whatever pain I was going through. Even when my life was on the line, I was like, but what about him? Is he gonna be okay? Another time I tried to break up with him, he sent me texts blowing up my phone being like, I'm bleeding out of all my orifices. Like your ears? Your eyes? Like what does that even mean? Your pee-pee hole? Like what? He didn't elaborate, but he promised me that it was life-threatening. He told me that if I ever broke up with him, they were going to find his body hanging from a tree with a sign around it that says, this is what happens when Melanie Hamlet loves you. First man I ever loved at the age of 36. Seemed like a nice guy when I met him. And the longer he was with me, the more unbelievably awful he became. So maybe this is what happens when Melanie Hamlet loves you. This is a me problem, not a him problem. See where I'm going? And then even after I broke up with him, like the final time, I think, he faked a bullet wound. I'm not even kidding, y'all. I got shot last night, thank you very much. Glad to know you have that kind of pull. I'm like, what? But who? What are you talking about? He's not anywhere. It happened downtown near the inn. All the dude said was, "This is for Melanie." And I'm just like, I don't know anybody who would shoot you, dude. Like, that's not my people. I was friends with, like, mostly hippies. I don't even know if any of them had, like, pew-pew. You know what I mean? Even though it was New Mexico, and it's pretty normal to have one there. And then when I was like, I don't believe you. How could you get shot and not go to the hospital? He's like, I took care of it with a needle and dental floss, y'all. I'm like, I want to pick. And even when I got stabbed, I used a needle and dental floss. I don't need no hospital. You pushed me to be in here. Y'all get my point here? Do you understand why I don't believe men at all when they say they're sick? My dad literally used being depressed to avoid accountability for an affair. Checked himself into a mental institution so that my mom wouldn't be mad at him. And this was back in like the 80s, early 80s, you know? This was like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest kind of area. Like, men will do anything to pull on the heartstrings of women who treat them like they're their sons. And that's what we got to stop doing. We got to stop being the nursemaids of these men, the mothers of these men. Because these king babies, they give you nothing in return and literally kill you through your nervous system, if not outright. I'm not saying that all men's illnesses are not real. Obviously, men are in a lot of pain, okay? I mean, I know that. But if you are with a man who consistently disrespects you or just exploits you or takes advantage of you, even if it's subtle and he has an injury, don't believe it. He's probably lying.